Good evening, welcome to Sports Central. This is the midweek sports review on EzeSportsTV. Of course, it's always nice to be here again every Wednesday to talk sports. And of course, today I have Kesta with me to do this one more time. Kesta, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Sports Central.
Okay, of course, we'll be starting from the home front as usual. 2 days ago, the 18th, we had games in the Nigerian Professional Football League. Of course, Plus United was at home to MFM FC, and of course, Rivers United was at home to Enyimba International. It ended Rivers United 2, Enyimba nil, and of course, Plateau United 2, MFM nil. Kesta, these two teams keep battling it out. They are not giving up. They keep pushing. They want to be at the top of the table. And of course, as we speak, currently we have 5 games ongoing in the Nigerian Professional Football League. It's Katsina United at home to Shooting Stars, Kwara United at home to Abia Warrior, Lobby Stars at home to Gombe United. All these games are currently in the first half, and it's nil-nil between all of them. Niger Tornadoes are winning Enugu Rangers 1-0, and of course Rainbow Stars are playing out. Rainbow Stars as well are winning Dakada FC 1-0. Kesta, Rivers United and of course Plateau United are still battling it out. They're still at the top of the log, of course, 52 points and 48 points respectively. And Rainbow Stars, of course, without one goal at the moment, have overtaken Enugu Rangers in the 4th position on 40 points, and of course, Enugu Rangers on the 38 points.
Yeah, Enugu Rangers sitting in the 4th position. As it stands now, Remo Stars have moved to the 3rd position. Of course, on top of the log, you still have Rivers United and Plateau United, best 2 sides of the league so far. We've seen what looks like a very beautiful league where about these 2 teams have stood out from the rest of the clubs, and they are doing so well that you can hardly stick out for any of them and say this person must surely win the league. But as it stands, advantage is with Rivers United. They are top in the league, 52 points as it stands, while Plateau United is on some 48 points. So the advantage is with Rivers United. They are doing so well, winning games at home, of course, being so good on the road as well. So as it stands now, we can predict Rivers United to win the league another day. But we have seen a very strong Plateau United side that can always come back and keep fighting. Just like what we are having in the Premier League right now, where Liverpool, is pushing Manchester City, of course, to the last day of the season as it stands. That's where it looks now that it's going to continue till the last day of the league. So I think Remo Stars, Plateau United is putting the same pressure on Rivers United. At the end of the day, it's a very interesting league to see. We like what we are seeing.
Okay, talking about Rivers United and Plateau United, Kesta, Rivers United so far have lost just 1 game this season, and that defeat came away to Jos right there in Plateau United. Of course, that game ended 1-0 in favor of the Plateau side, and so far Rivers United have gone the whole season so far unbeaten except that particular loss. Do you think, with the current form and the way they are going, do you think it's only Plateau United who could actually cause them to lose this point? Because at the moment, it doesn't look like any other side in the league stand any chance against them.
Of course, that's what it is. And that's why I say Plateau United is the only team that stands a chance apart from Rivers United. As it stands, this is Rivers United leagues to lose. This is their season as it stands now. Only Plateau United, and that's why I gave them that a chance, because they are the only team that have been able to take away 3 points from Rivers United this season. So I have to give them that benefit of the doubt that they have what it takes to continue pushing Rivers United to the last weeks of the season. But as it stands now, Rivers United is the team to beat. They are doing so well, not losing games, and that's how to win the league. When you avoid losing games and dropping points anyhow. They have been so good, winning home matches, even getting results on the road. So they are worthy. They are everything a champion should be. But for Plateau United, I hope they continue to fight. We want to see a very competitive league that you can predict until the last weeks of the competition. We don't like to have a champion with weeks left in the league. So I like the fight from Plateau United, but for now, it's just all Rivers United with advantage.
Okay, talking about, of course, rivals battling it out at the top. Liverpool and Manchester United continued their excellent season. Of course, we saw them over the weekend playing in the FA Cup semi-finals right there at the Wembley. Liverpool taking a 3-0 lead, and of course, City trying to fight back, but unfortunately they couldn't make it. It was it ended 3-2 in favor of Liverpool, and of course we saw Chelsea. After that defeat, after not making it through the Champions League against Real Madrid, Chelsea coming back to beat Crystal Palace right there at the Wembley. Chelsea winning Crystal Palace and keeping clean sheet. This is the third time in a row Chelsea is qualifying for the FA Cup finals. 2 seasons ago, they lost to Arsenal. Of course, last season they lost the FA Cup, of course, to Leicester City, and of course Chelsea are there again. We'll look to see if they will, be winning it this time around, or they will continue to lose the FA Cup finals. Of course, Thomas Tuchel were there when they played the FA Cup finals last season, and they were unfortunate not to actually win that one. Kesta, we've seen how the FA Cup have turned out. Of course, throughout the beginning of the season, I mean, no one would have actually predicted that City and Liverpool were going to be this good. We've seen them battling it out, and of course, Liverpool dropping a point against City over last weekend was actually the first time they are dropping a point as far as the cup competitions in England or the Premier League itself is concerned, as far as 2022 is concerned. I'm not talking about the whole season, but since the turn of the year, Liverpool haven't actually dropped a point except that 2-2 draw against Liverpool, but against Manchester City. But they've actually come back to winning ways, and we've seen what they're doing. Of course, last night we saw Liverpool as well trashing Manchester United. 4-0 it ended. Kesta, we talked about that game and I made a prediction of 3-0 trashing. It seems like something impossible, but then we've seen how good this side is. Chelsea, Liverpool, FA Cup final, Kesta.
Yeah, I think you're wrong when you said we didn't see it coming. We saw a Manchester City-Liverpool rivalry coming. I mean, coming into the season, they have been the best team of in England a couple of seasons ago. I mean, they have shared or dragged the championship between themselves. Liverpool took the trophy away from Manchester City. Manchester City came back to win it last season. So coming into the season, everybody predicted it's going to be Liverpool and Manchester City season as well. But we are talking about which other team can join the mix and try to push and challenge them. Of course, we predicted Chelsea with the kind of squad they have coming to the season. Of course, coming into the season as a Champions League, European champions and all that. Of course, Manchester United. We talked about Manchester United. Also coming with the new season with the acquisition of Ronaldo, Sancho, and all that. We believe they will fight and also try to challenge. So everybody knew from the beginning that it was always going to be Liverpool, Manchester City, but we never knew it would continue to be only both of them, and they have not disappointed so far. Always, in the discussion of every trophy, you can always talk about. Just unfortunate for Manchester City, you talked about that FA Cup semi-final loss against Liverpool. Liverpool being a team that is, in a better form as it stands, and seems to have a better squad as it stands, because you look at Liverpool now with the kind of players they have, the attacking front and all that. You can't even predict who is going to start a match, and you are sure that goal is involved in every match they play. Jurgen Klopp have a very wonderful squad and they know how to use and rotate these players. They are doing so well. So it was a good win for Liverpool. I think Pep Guardiola always believe that he can make some changes in his squad and still get a result, but you don't do that against a Liverpool side that has the quality. They tried all they could, but a 3-2 loss for them against a Liverpool side today, to me, is not a bad one. I mean, if Manchester City could lose any match, it should be against the Liverpool side. So definitely we are going to have a winner in that game, and it happened to Liverpool. And we're going to be having a repeat of the League Cup final as well in the FA Cup final after Chelsea won another London side in Crystal Palace. It was a very difficult game as well for Chelsea, but they showed character. They showed why they are Chelsea. In winning that one, a nice game for them. The players came up in the second half after having a kind of not too good the first half in that game, and they won that one comfortably. 2-0 it ended, and then to face Liverpool again. These two sides have met 3 times this season as well, and nobody have won any game between both of them in 90 minutes. Both legs in Premier League ended in 2-2 draws between between Chelsea and Liverpool. Of course, the League Cup final as well. We saw how the match went. It could have been anybody's game, all the way to the penalty, and Liverpool managed to win that one. So it's going to be interesting to see both of them also filing out in the FA Cup final again in Wembley, and it means a lot to I mean, apart of all the trophies Jurgen Klopp have won with Liverpool, he hasn't won the FA Cup. I think he hasn't played the final of FA Cup as well. This is the first time he's playing the FA Cup final with Liverpool, and for Thomas Tuchel, it's a second season running for him and being in the FA Cup final. He has tried to win this trophy in the past. He couldn't succeed against Leicester City. A season before that, it was Frank Lampard against Mikel Arteta's Arsenal. Arsenal won that one. So I'm sure Chelsea knows that if they lose, it will be three straight loss for them, FA Cup final loss for them. So they have made it a hobby of always being in the FA Cup final, and we hope to have a very nice game on the day. Liverpool still having a chance of winning the quadruple. What an unprecedented achievement. We've not seen it before, but they have the chance now, being in the FA Cup final. Currently, the top of the league after that win against Manchester United. Of course, we are going to be having Manchester City play today against Brighton, to see if they can go back on top of this underdog. But Liverpool, it's in Champions League semi-final, Carabao Cup already in the kitty for them. What a season they are having.
All right, Kesta, thank you so much. I'm talking about Premier League. We had Premier League fixtures also on Saturday, where Arsenal lost Arsenal losing 1-0 to Brighton and Hove Albion, so Southampton rather, and of course Manchester United, winning Norwich City 3-2. It ended Cristiano Ronaldo getting another hat trick. What a player he is. 30 hat trick before 30 years, and of course another 30 after 30 years. Unfortunately, Cristiano Ronaldo lost his child 2 days ago, and he was not involved in Manchester United fixture last night against Liverpool. After coming back for that win, getting that all-important win against Norwich City, you would think that Manchester United would come into this game with a lot of belief that they can do something, considering the fact that Arsenal and also Tottenham Hotspur failed to win on the weekend where Manchester United themselves won a game. So you would think that they would want to, consolidate on that and see if they can get a point at least against Liverpool. For the fact that Liverpool are one of their rivals, try to hunt them, and also for their own self, try to get a Champions League spot. But we've seen how it all played out last night. Kesta 4-0 thrashing. Mo Salah scoring double, of course, Diaz and of course Sadio Mane. You watched that game, Kesta. How disastrous it was for Manchester United. I really need to get your opinion on that.
Of course, I know you are not surprised because you predicted that Manchester United will lose woefully in that game, and that's just what happened. Just that you even try to reduce the scoreline as a matter of fact, because you predicted for them to lose 3-0. At the end of the day, it was a 4-0 thrashing by Liverpool. Everybody saw it coming. I mean, these two teams are far apart. They are not in the same category as it stands now. This is not the Manchester United we used to know. And you see the analysis and all that. You see, the pundits talking about this particular fixture, how it used to be in the past. This is a very big game as far as European football, English football is concerned. When Liverpool plays Manchester United, I mean, it was Gary Neville that said in his 40 years of following Manchester United, he hasn't seen this kind of result. I mean, this kind of Manchester United performance from Manchester United against Liverpool. And even when Liverpool weren't doing well, some decades ago, they don't play like this against Manchester United. When they come into that fixture knowing that this is a Manchester United, they step up that game and try to make it difficult for the opponent, even if you're going to win them. But it was very abysmal performance from Manchester United. They deserve where they are right now because they've not really performed very well, and it was just another masterclass from Jurgen Klopp and his side. Finally, Salah scoring his goals, coming back in the goals. Of course, Diaz, Mane, they score goal and assist themselves also in that particular game. What a game it was for Liverpool, and the fight for the quadruple continues for them, and it's wonderful to see.
Okay, of course, Manchester. With that result last night, Liverpool have gone above Manchester City rather, but City have a game tonight. If they win, they will go back to the top of the league. City will be playing Brighton and Hove Albion 8 p.m. Nigerian time. Of course, before that game, there will be Chelsea versus Arsenal. 7:45 p.m. Of course, Everton Leicester City 7:45 p.m. and Newcastle United will be playing Crystal Palace 7:45 p.m. Nigerian time. Kesta, Chelsea versus Arsenal. Chelsea, a team who, after that loss against Brighton, right there, against Brentford, right there at the bridge, Chelsea have gone on to play 3 games on the bounce, and they've won all these games. Chelsea are back to their best form. Arsenal currently struggling. It's 3 losses on the row for Arsenal. I mean, the last time Arsenal suffered such defeat was the beginning of the season, where they failed to win in their first 3 games of the season. But so far, it seems like Arsenal are really not finding it easy, just because of 1 or 2 injuries here and there. Chelsea, on the other hand, are playing. Of course, this is a derby match. We know how difficult it used to be, but then we've seen scorelines where Chelsea win Arsenal 6-1 in a derby match. So, do you think it is going to go in that direction tonight, where Chelsea is going to wait what Arsenal, considering what Liverpool did to Manchester United last night? Or do you think Arsenal will, come to the fight with the fact that they have something at stake, not just for the pride, not just for the fans, not just for the colours, but also if Arsenal wins tonight, they will go on same point with Tottenham Hotspur. Their hope for Champions League will be on. But if they lose tonight, I think it will be disastrous for them, and Chelsea also would just consolidate and secure their third spot position. What direction do you think the match is going to go tonight? Do you think it's going to be a difficult one, or do you think it's going to be a one-sided game?
Any day, anytime, a game between Chelsea and Arsenal will always be a difficult game. There are exceptions. Once in a while you see a team riding a very big form, or coming into this particular fixture and running away with the victory. We've seen it with Arsenal beating Chelsea black and blue in this fixture as well. So it's all going to be difficult for both teams. They have a lot to fight as far as the season is concerned. Chelsea still wants to, cement their position in their third position and make sure they don't have any scare running down the season. Of course, Arsenal is in a position where they must win this game also to make sure the fight is on for them to make it to the top 4. I think the teams around that places have always tried kind of favor themselves in terms of not performing well, when others also are not performing well. Of course, you talk about the Manchester United with the chance of also trying to go above Arsenal and creating a kind of gap between them and Arsenal, but they've not taken those chances. You can talk about the win against Norwich. I think the win against Norwich is just the reason why we are still talking about Manchester United being in the conversation. And they didn't do themselves any good by losing to Liverpool, of course, in the manner they did. Arsenal as well is facing a very strong side in Chelsea, and it's not going to be easy for them, as a matter of fact, playing in Stamford Bridge with the form they are in right now. And of course, you talk about Chelsea and with the form they are in. But this is a derby match, as you said, always going to be difficult. We cannot just predict it that it will be anyhow. But I think Chelsea advantage in this one. They have the upper hand. They are going to be playing at home, of course, and also be in a very better form against Arsenal. The pressure right now is kind of pushing to Arsenal. They know they have to win this game to make sure the fight continues, because apart from Manchester United, you still have Tottenham right there in the mix. So you're not just looking at Tottenham, Manchester United. You also know that there is Tottenham that is already sitting in the 4th position as well. So you need to win to keep up with them. In as much as Arsenal still have, this is their game at hand that they want to play now. So Chelsea are playing at home. We have an advantage in this one, but it's going to be difficult for both teams.
All right, Kesta, I'll be putting you on the spot. This particular game, I'll be needing a prediction from you. And of course, Manchester City, knowing fully well that they've not actually had it easy in the past week, drawing that game against Liverpool in the league and then going on to lose against Liverpool as well in the FA Cup semi-finals. They would want to come back to winning ways. But we've seen teams like Brighton, disturbing a lot of teams. In the space of how many weeks Brighton have won. Brighton are also going right there at the Tottenham Stadium to win Tottenham 1-0 over the weekend. Do you think Brighton can actually spring up any surprise today against Manchester City, or do you think Manchester City will take all 3 points, knowing that they need to actually catch up with Liverpool? So I will need you to give me your prediction on these particular games: Manchester City versus Brighton, and of course Chelsea versus Arsenal.
This is a big chance for Brighton. Of course, everything is possible in football. They can do it. because we've seen them go to Arsenal to win, we've gone to Tottenham to win, and this time it's going to be against Manchester City. So everything is possible. But on the flip side, you talk about Manchester City and how important this game is to them. They know that Liverpool sits on top of them right now, and they need to win to go back on top. And it seems that this is the only trophy, of course, the Champions League that they can win as it stands now this season. They have been knocked out of the FA Cup, so it's all about winning the league. Of course, seeing how far they can go in the Champions League. So Manchester City knows that winning today, we send that message again that we are still here. We are not going anywhere. We are still Manchester City, and I see them trashing Brighton in this one. I know it's going to be. I mean, Brighton will be coming into the game with a lot of confidence, having had that 2 results in the past against big side like Arsenal and Tottenham. But against the Manchester City side, what is happening in Manchester City right now with how they themselves have played recently, they would like to turn it around, with this game. And it's going to be unfortunate for Brighton that are going to be facing this Manchester City at this moment. So I see Manchester City beating Brighton by 4-0. And for the game between Chelsea and Arsenal, of course, it's going to be a close one. I mean, Arsenal knows that they need to fight in this one. They don't have anything to lose. They just have to come out and fight. Unfortunately for them, they're having those injuries that's affecting their game. Arteta seems to have played, managed the squad very well before this period where they're not having these injury issues and all that. I still see him as as somebody that understands the kind of squad he has and how to manage them. There are still doubts if Lacazette will play in this one. I don't know if he's fit to play, and I saw some news about Lacazette, but he didn't start the last game. Of course, probably he might be leading the line in this one against the Chelsea side. But Chelsea, with how they are performing the last 3 games, as rightly mentioned, the last Premier League game against Saturday was a 6-0 victory for them. Before that, FA Cup semi-final against Crystal Palace. I see Chelsea winning Arsenal by 2-0.
Okay, 2-0 for Kesta and on Chelsea versus Arsenal. Of course, 4-0 thrashing for Manchester City against Brighton and Hove Albion. Kesta, shortly, Fulham, a team who got relegated last season. Fulham last night secured their spots back to the Premier League, just 1 season out.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen how they've performed in the Championship over the season. Of course, they've gone 3 games, losing all 3 games, and doubts were starting to mount if Fulham was still going to, make it back to the Premier League, because at some point they were over 10 points above the other team, Bournemouth, and you would at some point it was really scary for Fulham fans. But last night they got all that important points, winning 3-0, winning Preston and North End, and of course securing their spot back to the Premier League. Kesta.
Congratulations to Fulham. Of course, there was no doubt from how they executed the season from first week. Of course, you can talk about the setbacks and all that, but there was no doubt as far as I'm concerned. I know how they started the league. Of course, Championship is a very difficult league as well. So sometimes you always have that, deep in form and all that. But what a season Fulham have had. Mitrovic scoring his 40th league goal in that one. He got a double in that particular fixture, and then that made his 40th league goal of the season. I mean, what a player he is for the club. He's always been there doing it for them. I think they need to be more careful now coming back to the Premier League. One issue with Fulham is that they come to the Premier League and they just kind of sign a lot of players and try to change the squad because you think you need to stay in the Premier League. But I think they can manage the squad they have. 1 or 2 additions with the crop of players they already have, they can be good in the Premier League. I mean, this is a very decent side. It has always been come and go for them, but I hope they just come this time and try to fight. Fulham have always been a Premier League club, so congratulations to them. Of course, so it's unfortunate for Derby County. They tried all they could. After going on administration, 21-point deduction and all that, when Rooney couldn't keep them in the Championship, and they're going to be playing the League One, next season. So so as Fulham is celebrating, also you look at the bottom side of the table, I see that Derby County have been relegated to League One. So it's all what we watch football for. There's still so much to play for. There's still another second spot of automatic qualification in the Championship to grab. Of course, the playoff as well that's going to be coming later in the season at Wembley. So still so much more coming, from the English football this season, and we can't wait to see how it wraps up.
All right, thank you so much, Kesta. Before we run off, I will be reading out the halftime scoreline in the Nigerian Professional Football League. Katsina United have actually taken the lead against Shooting Stars. Kwara United have taken the lead against Abia Warrior. Lobby Stars have taken the lead as well against Gombe United. Niger Tornado are still winning 1-0 against Enugu Rangers, and of course, Dakar FC have pulled a goal back. It's now 1-1 between Remo Stars and Dakar FC. Of course, we'll be here next week to bring you all the happenings, all that have happened over the today, and of course over the weekend. As far as football is concerned, continue to keep it with us. Kesta, it's always nice to talk sports with you. Thank you so much for being here today.
Sports Central, Nigeria is always the best. Thank you very much.
Okay, of course, it's always a big thank you to Raf and of course Collins right there for always being behind the cameras to make sure that you are there to see us every Wednesday talk sports on the midweek sports review. I still remain your host Harrison. Thank you for being with us and have a nice evening.